Hello, hello. Welcome to Healthy Perspectives, a podcast that takes on current cultural and social issues through a clinical lens. All right. Hello, hello. All right. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your time. And today I'm bringing back an old one I haven't done in a while because I've had a bunch of people recently asking some questions. And I've actually, for those of you who have actually expressed some concern or care, thank you. I am doing fine, just incredibly busy. So you'll notice that there's big gaps and stuff, as I told you last time. And that may or may not be the case moving forward. As life changes, I have to make adjustments. And I don't do this for my well-being. I do this for your well-being, but that also means I don't make money doing this. So unless you're willing to change that, you're just going to have to bear with me when things get a little bit too busy for me to invest in this process. It's not because I don't love you and don't care. It's simply because I have a limited amount of time and I can't give it all away. And so that's what we do. The tip of the day is ask more questions. Why? Because the old thing that I'm bringing back, and I haven't done in quite some time, is questions for Jeremiah. And with that, asking more questions is just part of the deal. And the truth is, we should all do better at asking more questions anyway. So I got a few questions here that I've got written down that came my direction from various sources. And I'm going to just hit them. Okay. Number one, my spouse thinks the wildfires in California are a result of politics. How do I talk to them about this? Well, wow. I've had this question come up. I actually had more than one person bring this up. And this particular question, it's just so fascinating to me how fixated we can get, how naive we can be in our fixations and our biases. Like, not everything is about politics. That's a fact, folks. So let's just start with the premise of the question, because what I teach people is, obviously this is coming from a place of emotion, almost guaranteed. I say process the emotion, process the history, the individual person's history, and process the issue. So we'll start with the issue. The issue is, did the wildfires in California happen because of politics? No. Factually, no. They didn't happen because of politics. Do politics impact the result of the fire? Yes. There's certain things that can happen in the aftermath of something like this that can be driven by political responses. But did the fire start because of politics? No. So that's the issue. Let's go ahead and process the history there. We're probably dealing here with somebody who is struggling with a political view, or is so rooted in a political view that they believe that every good thing comes from a political stance and every bad thing comes from a different political stance. And the world is just way more complex than that, folks. If that's the history, then you got to understand what's going to happen. They're going to get defensive if they believe you're being aggressive, or they're going to become aggressive if they feel that you are on the defensive. So how would I approach somebody in that situation? Lay out the facts, move on. The facts are the fire started. Facts are lots of people are suffering. The facts are they ran out of water. The facts are, I mean, we could go down the list of the facts. Stay with the facts. Don't get into the rest. Why? You're going to put them on the defensive or on the aggressive. There's no point in doing that. They're already rooted in what they believe. Now, if your question were, how do I convince them that they're being naive and foolish, which they probably are, then I would say you have to plant seeds now, grow it over time, and a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, it could be different. But you're not going to be able to do that without planting the seeds. The seed might be something like, yeah, no, the wildfires in California, there's definitely some political recourse. Obviously, they didn't start the fire, but there are some things that are resulting from the politics in the area that have caused the social stuff to be worse or better, whatever the case might be in that given situation. And so you just outline it, and that's a seed. Plant. And later on, you come back and go, yeah, the politics there have definitely changed some of the outcomes. Obviously, they didn't dictate the flood or the fire or the tornado. Politicians are not that good, folks. They don't spin their finger and a tornado appears. They don't go out to the ocean and put up their hands and say, come to me. And the water rushes in, tsunami style. It doesn't happen like that. So breaking that myth is probably the first step. Okay. So I said the issue, their history, and the emotion itself. I would get curious on the emotion part. Ask questions. Remember the tip of the day, ask more questions. The reason that I would get curious on the emotions is, think about this. Why would you think that politics created the fire? That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? It seems weird. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. And they'll say, well, if oh, those things all impact the aftermath of the fire. Yeah, definitely. Plant the seed. But how did it cause the fire? You see, we sit with that, folks. Okay. So I gave you 3 tools there. 3 of them, folks. 3 tools. When you're dealing with somebody who does not seem to be rational, or they seem to be fixated, you've got 3 areas that it comes from. We say it comes from emotion, but there's a prompt. There's the issue, there's the emotion, and there's their history. And if you really want to impact change in the conversation, you have to understand those 3 things. Okay, next question. All right, I hope this is hitting, folks. Next question. My friend, family, I've adjusted this one a tiny bit. Let me reread it. My friend or family believe we are about to, this was right before the last couple of weeks. I've actually gotten this question a lot before the changeover to Donald Trump being the president yesterday. My friend or family believe we are about to enter hell when Trump enters the White House. Should I bother to talk to them? Yes, talk to them. Simple answer on this one. Yes, talk to them. Why? What's the alternative? We don't stand by and watch somebody drown. We throw them a life jacket, or we find, look, we're not just leaving people out there to disappear. That's not cool. Yeah, talk to them. Talk to them. There's some things that you probably want to be thoughtful about. I mean, there are lots of people in my world, close family and friends, who think different than I think on politics. Okay, so what? Does that mean they're less human? Like a lot of people out there will try to convince you that they're less human because they're part of the enemy. But I don't view relationships like that. And I don't think that that's a healthy perspective. I think relationships can be very complex and we could have very different opinions. And that doesn't mean you're not lovable. It just means we have different opinions. Are some opinions right and other opinions wrong? Would be my next question. Well, it depends on if it's an opinion or if it's a fact, right? We spend a lot of time in this particular arena worrying about future things that haven't happened. Now, I'm not saying be naive and unprepared for likely possibilities in the future. Absolutely be prepared. Be prepared for those things. I've addressed those in the past on this podcast. Deportation, be prepared. It's going to affect us. It's going to affect you and me and everybody else, right? Tariffs, they're going to affect us. Will it make things better or worse? We will see. Historically, when we impose a tariff, things have generally gotten better. Is that the solution for everything? No, because sometimes the tariff causes people to not do business with us. I mean, that could put some burdens on us that we're not prepared for potentially. Right? What about in your own little neighborhood? Are you going to be impacted with the price of eggs and milk and bread and like these essentials, or worse, your addictive products, nicotine, uh, marijuana, alcohol? These could all be impacted too, folks. So yes, talk to them. The short answer is talk to them. Why? Choosing not to love somebody because of their political view, it's just not good practice. It's not good practice. Go back as far as the biblical times. Not good practice. Not a good idea. Choosing to follow somebody who is not based in reality, well, that's a different story. You don't need to follow them, but that doesn't mean you can't talk to them. It doesn't mean you can't love them. I'm not going to follow a bank robber into a bank. I'm going to make that phone call myself, be like, hey, this is about to go down. But it doesn't mean I hate them. I hate the behavior, not the person. Keep them separate, folks. Okay. Next one. This is my fun one of the day because, this person clearly knows me. And so a little shout out to my team. They said, okay, sorry, give me a second here. The Minnesota Vikings choked. Are you upset? No. I mean, I was disappointed, but am I upset? No. Here's why. Look, for those of you who know me, I'm a Mets fan. I know I'm a guy from Oregon originally, but I'm a Mets fan. Why? We didn't have a baseball team. Well, was I going to go with the Minnesota Twins? That was the AAA affiliate in our town, in Portland when I was a kid. No. I mean, although there were some players there that I was a pretty good fan of, but no, I was a Mets fan, and I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, and I'm a Rams fan. Okay. The Rams, when they were in LA the first time, St. Louis, then LA, like they got a wild adventure going on down there and with the Rams. Those are the two teams. Those are my two teams. My number one team is the Minnesota Vikings. And yes, they lost. And yes, I'm upset, not upset, but I'm disappointed that they lost. But I'm going to be real here. If I'm going to break this down for you, they overperformed in the regular season. Do I think that they were as bad as they showed up in their playoff game? No. I think they were definitely coming off of the lag of playing the Detroit Lions in a really tough game and coming out a little bit on the short side, and then getting the seeding that they got. I mean, there was a lot of probably emotional letdown, I could imagine. So, I was those of you who know me well, I was a former athlete as well. Never to that level. So, don't get all excited, but I, I just know that letdown feeling when you show up, you give everything you got to a game and you come up short. It's hard. It's emotionally draining. It's physically draining, and to come back from that and go in and have a tough game, um, it is what it is. But am I upset? Nah. Fun game to watch for about 10 minutes. then I was like, oh, this isn't looking. So they were just flat. They were just flat. It was pretty clear that they were flat. Hard to drive with a flat tire. So, and, I had the Rams still in it. So, I mean, there was that. Last question of the day. This one's really, really fresh. There was this at the inauguration, which just happened yesterday. There was a Hail Hitler thing that people are talking about. And let's be real. Um, the question was, do you think that Elon Musk is is like Hitler? Well, first of all, that's a weird question. If you're thinking that, you're probably not paying that close attention. Let's be real. Not to reality. Now, maybe to what you want it to be, your bias, maybe. I mean, you could draw parallels to Hillary Clinton and Hitler. You could draw parallels to Pete Rose, who recently passed away, and Hitler. I mean, you can. You're like, they were both round in the face during one time of their life, or some. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to do these comparisons that you want to do. Is he Hitler? No, no, he's Elon Musk. He doesn't even live. Like, Hitler's dead. He is gone. Elon Musk is alive. He is here. Do I get wrapped up in these kinds of things? Not too much. Not really. Do I think it was, his best move? Dude was enthusiastic. You could see his energy. He was pumped, and he was, the crowd was pumped, and he did something that, at the end he probably went back and went, probably not my best move. But what people do when they're celebrating, I mean, let's be real. Go back to my football comments about Minnesota. Some of the best moves in the NFL this year were Minnesota Vikings after touchdowns, like epic moves. And they imitated all kinds of things. Does that mean they are them? No. Does it, and some of them, they don't even imitate others. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If I were an NFL player, my imitation move. Anybody ever see Barry Sanders celebrate? Dude was phenomenal at celebrations. Yeah, he handed off the football to the referees every time. Like, that was his thing. You find a referee, hand him the football, celebrate. Woo-hoo. Here's the football. He didn't do anything else. He ran over, handed him the football, and left. Went back to his side of the field. Right? So if somebody else does the Barry Sanders, does that mean they are Barry Sanders? No. It means that they appreciated and respected his game, or they just handed him the football and ran off the field. We read so much into these things, folks. Here's my takeaway for this one. If you're so concerned with something that you're asking that kind of question, you've already made up your decision. And if you've made up your decision, what am I going to say to change your mind? Probably not anything at the moment. So I'll do what I'm circling all the way back to the beginning. I'll do what I said in the beginning. I'm going to plant a seed. If you're asking the question about the Hail Hitler, Elon Musk moment, ask yourself something. Why do I care so hard about him? Do you really think the world's going to end because of Elon Musk? He's one person. Oh, but he has lots of money and influence. That's true. And that's what I'm going to address on my next podcast. It's coming. I'm going to release it soon. I'm not going to make you wait forever on this one. But I've already got it together. That's why I know it's coming soon. I've got this one. We're going to talk social norms, policy, laws, and rules. The two ends that create influence. We can create influence by social norms, policy, laws, and rules. That's what's coming for you, folks. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're also looking forward and excited about this social norms one. I'm going to finish wrapping it up. I got a few things that I need to prepare for on it, but that's coming. And hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being patient with us while we were away a lot more during the holidays, but not just because of the holidays, just my schedule and times and stuff like that. But thank you for sticking with us. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. We appreciate our audience a lot, so we give you some simple ways to track us down. Please like, subscribe, and follow all the podcasts on different platforms, but you can also email us at healthyperspectives@protonmail.com, or you can check out our website at healthy-perspectives.com/podcast. It's a backward slash. So if you want to go to our landing page, if you go to healthy-perspectives.com, you'll still find us. You just got to click on the podcast button. Thank you so much.